Hey, how you doing out there? Tell me, have you ever had this feeling that someone is standing behind you? You don't know why? Hmm. Hey people, how we doing today? Wow, it's great to be back. This video has been in the planning stage for quite some time now. Now, let's get going, shall we? He's in a hurry. Let's get going. The name of this video is Something to Think About. Something to think about. As you can see, I'm in my superhero hoodie, Batman. Now, speaking of Batman and superheroes in general, have you ever noticed that an awful lot of superheroes have one thing in common? They all wear gloves. Now you're going to say, now wait a minute, not all of them wear gloves. Some don't wear gloves at all. But Batman wears gloves, Green Arrow wears gloves, The Flash wears gloves, even some of the X-Men, even the X-Men wear gloves. Well, except for Storm. She has to have her hands free. But Superman doesn't wear gloves. And it seems to me he's the one that really needs to be wearing gloves. Him and Wonder Woman. Because, hey, after all, the enemy is going to attack anyone you like, anyone who knows you, and if he finds out your secret identity, that could really be bad for everyone. And what is it that Superman has as a secret identity? A pair of glasses. Now tell me, do I look like a different person now? Do I look more heroic? And what about now? Nah. So anyone who comes across a scene where maybe Superman has stopped a car or train or a bus or helped with an airplane and they see his handprints, what would stop them from getting those fingerprints from inside there and checking it in some way? I think you're catching on. You're catching on, aren't you? Now, I know that in the 60s, Clark Kent was murdered by Superman. And Superman was arrested. And he was booked and put in jail. Now, the booking process is fingerprinting. So, it doesn't matter if he was exonerated or not. His fingerprints would still be online. And of course, if you're a reporter and you're going to interview someone like the president, vice president, or any other foreign dignitary or any other politician, you're going to be fingerprinted as a background check to see if you have a criminal background. But guess what? That's going to be in their computer files. If they compared Superman's fingerprints to Clark Kent's fingerprints, what would they come up with? They're the same person. How is that possible? So I think Superman should start wearing gloves. And that's something to think about, isn't it? Of course, now the next part has to do with something different. We have Happy Days. Do you remember Happy Days? I'm not talking about when you were a little kid and you had no cares in the world and you could eat anything you wanted to, do anything you wanted to within reason. Well, I'm talking about the TV series that followed the adventures of Richie Cunningham and his family and friends. Now, in the first season of Happy Days, Richie had an older brother named Chuck. One day, Chuck went upstairs and was never seen from again. Never seen again. Never seen, never heard from. Nothing. And no one ever mentioned him. I have a theory, and it ties in directly with Doctor Who. If you watch Doctor Who, you've seen the 11th Doctor do his thing, you know that Amy Pond had a crack in her bedroom wall where things vanished. And we find out later, when the light spills out of it and touches someone or something, it's erased from history. Here's what I'm thinking. Chuck Cunningham had such a crack in his bedroom wall. Yep, and the doctor wasn't around to save him. And now he's gone forever because that light touched him. That's something to think about. Now, if Doctor Who and his TARDIS were to show up in my yard right now, I'd grab the camera up, and this camera and I would go out there, and I'd become his companion. We could find someone else, and we could have so much grand adventure. And I would videotape it just for you people, my friends. Now, my third one to ponder, one for you to think about. Gilligans Island, a show from the 1960s. Now, we know that there was the skipper, there was Gilligan, millionaires, and the actress, Ginger, and the farm girl, Marianne, and the professor on a boat for 3 hours. A 3-hour tour of the islands. What could possibly go wrong? Well, we know what happened. Now, my question is, if it was only a 3-hour tour, why did the Howells have so much luggage? Maybe they knew what was going to happen, and they wanted to be prepared. And one last little thought. The professor could make a radio out of coconuts and palm branches, yet he couldn't repair the boat. That's something to think about. Well, that's it for now. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you want to, leave a comment below. Tell me what you thought. Give me your thoughts on my thoughts. If you want to, you can follow me on Facebook, on Twitter, and on Tumblr. I'm Mega Alpha Ranger on Tumblr. And if you want to, and really like to write me a letter, I will leave the address in the description and somewhere on this video. Well, that's all I have for right now. I hope everyone has a great day or night and a fantastic, awesome week. Until next time, I'll be saying goodbye.